technocracy comes into being. Next story on INFOWARS Nightly News: chimps throwing poop and 29 other mind-blowing ways the government is wasting your money. And a lot of this, funnily enough, is actually the same kind of scientists that milk the gravy train of global warming that gives them all these millions of dollars in federal government grant money. So this article at Economic Collapse blog basically just lists some of the mind-blowingly pointless things that the federal government is funding to the tune of hundreds of thousands and in some cases millions of dollars, while the people are told, you know, they must labor under poverty and austerity. And here's just a few of them. You can read the full list at the original article. In 2011, the National Institutes of Health spent $592,000 on a study that sought to figure out once and for all why chimpanzees throw poop. Because obviously that's very important to understand. You know, food stamp usage is at record levels, the debt's out of all control, but they're spending nearly $600,000 on figuring out why chimps throw poo at each other. Okay, that's great. Here's another one. National Institutes of Health, again, spent more than $5 million on a website called Sex Pulse that's targeted at men who use internet to seek sex with men. Again, your tax dollars at work. Federal government is spending millions of dollars to train Asian call center workers, outsourcing your jobs in the process. The federal government spent $175,000 to determine if cocaine makes Japanese quail engage in sexually risky behavior. So that's obviously, you know, I guess it's a national security issue or something. $600,000 spent or given to researchers at Columbia University by the federal government to study how heterosexuals use the internet to find love. Again, that's worth $600,000 of your money any day. They also gave $3 million to researchers at the University of California at Irvine to fund their research into video games such as World of Warcraft, another worthy cause. National Institutes of Health, $400,000 to study why gay men in Argentina engage in risky sexual behavior when they're drunk. Maybe we should, you know, spend another $500,000 on seeing if that's connected to the Japanese quails who also engage in sexually risky behavior, God knows. But that's just a few of them. There's about 30 different ones, and you can go to the original article and read about it, but it's just an illustration of out-of-control government spending on all kinds of ridiculous crap while we're being told that we've got to pay for the bailouts and everything else. Moving on. Mary Pinchot Meyer, JFK mistress, assassinated by CIA, new book says. This is out of the Huffington Post. Conspiracy theorists who question President John F. Kennedy's assassination in 1963 have over the years become obsessed with another murder. On October 12, 1964, socialite and artist Mary Pinchot Meyer, a longtime Kennedy mistress, was shot execution style in broad daylight while walking along the Georgetown Canal towpath. Within hours, police charged day laborer Ray Crump Jr. with murder. They never found the gun, however, and a jury acquitted Crump after an eyewitness described the killer as much bigger than the diminutive defendant. In the ensuing years, the case has become one of Washington's most infamous unresolved murder cases. And there's a new book coming out about this. Obviously, no time to delve into such a gargantuan subject now, but Jim Mars, in his book, actually lists over 100 people who died in mysterious circumstances, mainly accidents or suicides, who were eyewitnesses to the JFK assassination. Earlier this month, we had the Secret Service agent come out and said Jackie Kennedy's last words were, quote, "Oh, Jack, what have they done?" Obviously, the word "they" being suggestive of a wider plot. You know, in the past, we've had Madeline Duncan Brown, LBJ's mistress, who gave an interview saying basically LBJ conspired the night before to have JFK killed. The quote, according to her, "Those SOBs will never embarrass me again." That's what LBJ said about the Kennedys the night before the assassination. Again, just a baseless conspiracy theory, as much of the JFK material is still treated by the establishment. Barr McClellan, the father of the former White House press secretary, he came out and said that it was an LBJ plot. Of course, E. Howard Hunt, who came on, we had his son come on with the revelations on the Alex Jones show a few years ago about how he was a bench warmer in the plot to kill JFK, and he also implicated LBJ in the plot. Then, of course, we got the famous wink from Congressman Albert Thomas that he gave to LBJ as Johnson was being sworn in as, you know, JFK's replacement when he became president after his death. So the evidence is overwhelming. It would take a 2,000-word book to lay it out, but obviously the polls show the vast majority of Americans disbelieve the official conspiracy theory about JFK, but the establishment still uses this grassy knoll cliche to debunk anyone who attempts to challenge the establishment orthodoxy on any modern event. So, new book coming out with new revelations about JFK, so we'll await that one. Final story tonight on INFOWARS Nightly News. Roundup herbicide linked to Parkinson's-related brain damage from greenmedinfo.com. Alarming new research published in the journal Neurotoxicology and Teratology supports the emerging connection between glyphosate, the active ingredient in Roundup herbicide, and neurodegenerative conditions such as Parkinson's disease and Parkinsonian disorders. And basically, this article lists different modes of toxicity that this Monsanto-produced herbicide, Roundup, has been linked with. And of course, this is the product that was previously labeled by Monsanto safe as table salt. So you can sprinkle it on your chips and eat it. It's that safe. But of course, the studies have shown that it's the primary cause of colony collapse disorder, this mass die-off of bees, as well as the die-offs of other insects, including butterflies. So, you know, we know that Monsanto recently bought out one of the companies responsible for researching colony collapse disorder. That's right, they actually bought the group that was studying why the bees were dying. I mean, why doesn't Monsanto just buy up all the organizations that are looking into the causes of Parkinson's disease? It's like some kind of bizarre Borg assimilation process. You know, you have an organization that links Monsanto with mass die-offs of bees, neurological disorders, and Monsanto just says, right, we're just going to buy up the company and bury the data. You will be assimilated into the Monsanto Borg. Unfortunately for them, though, they can't assimilate the thousands of activists, committed campaigners who have successfully evicted Monsanto out of several European and South American countries. So while Monsanto will continue to try and buy up anyone who points out that they're responsible for killing off bees, butterflies, and innumerable other insects, as well as links to neurological diseases such as Parkinson's, the war against their deadly GMO poison continues. And if you're looking to find out more information on Monsanto's war on the environment and family farms, I encourage you to check out the documentary Farmageddon, the Unseen War on American Family Farms, which is available at the InfoWars store today. Check it out. Get your 15-day free trial at PrisonPlanet.tv. Of course, you may be watching this on YouTube, but it's streamed first exclusively at PrisonPlanet.tv. Along with all the InfoWars Nightly News archives, Alex Jones Show archives, special speeches, interviews, just a ton of multimedia content. And it, of course, supports what we're doing. We wouldn't be able to do this without your support. So please subscribe at PrisonPlanet.tv. Coming up after the break, Rob Dew sits down for an interview with Stuart Rhodes to talk about the widening resistance against the National Defense Authorization Act with anti-NDAA resolutions in Virginia and Arizona. So stay tuned for that interview.
In what will become the largest domestic spying operation in history, the National Security Agency, or NSA, is building a top-secret facility just south of Salt Lake City, Utah. The Utah Data Center, which is currently under construction at the southern end of Camp Williams, a Utah National Guard base, is slated to be a 1 million square foot repository of all digital communications in the United States and abroad. As this report will show you, there is a growing connection between the NSA and the LDS Church, also known as the Mormons, connected to the Church's long-standing practice of sending missionaries out to foreign countries. Missionaries, who typically serve 2-year terms as messengers of their religion, often travel to foreign countries, earn top-secret clearances, and learn language skills at the Missionary Training Center near Brigham Young University in Provo, Utah. A deeper, darker course is also being taught, however, at BYU, one which may involve those who return from their missionary travels spying on American citizens.
Well, we look at the mathematics behind cryptography. We look at classical encryptions, something as easy as a substitution cipher or kind of a cryptogram puzzle. But then we also look at more modern methods of encryption and methods of sharing data that use more sophisticated mathematics. Now, the mathematics behind this is, it's at a level that undergraduate students can understand it with just a little bit of math background. In fact, we've taught this to incoming freshmen here at BYU.
Here we are, and what's your name, sir?
My name is Chris.
Chris, and where are you from, Chris?
Atlanta, Georgia.
Atlanta, Georgia. And are you having a good time here in Nashville, Tennessee?
Yes, I am.
Awesome. And do you know who Barry Soetoro is?
No, I do not.
You don't know who Barry Soetoro is? What would you say if I told you that Barry Soetoro is the real name of Barack Obama, 44th President of the United States of America?
I guess I learned something new today.
Downtown Nashville to talk to the Johnson Creek Stranglers band to find out if they know who Barry Soetoro is. Excuse me, sir, can I have your name?
My name is Joe Sanders.
Joe Sanders, and you are?
Johnny Outlaw.
Johnny Outlaw, and you are?
Mulford Pickens.
Mulford Pickens. And do you all know who Barry Soetoro is?
I don't know who Barry Soetoro is.
This is Flashpoint Radio, and I am your host, Jay-Z. It is Monday, April the 16th, 2012. And yes, I am going to court along with my 8+ month pregnant wife to Maplewood, where we used to live, where I went to court last time, because in no animal license, Phil Gold, building inspector Phil Gold, cited me. Then I suppose Phil Gold, being a simple business building inspector, could not actually write a citation. Got Officer J.G. Williams to write an actual uniform citation. J.G. Williams states under, this ticket says, as all tickets, I, knowing that false statements on this form are punishable by law, state that I have probable cause to believe that we have cats on the premises. This gentleman has never been in my apartment. This gentleman has never seen any cats. He is claiming he did on March 14th. We will see at court tonight. Thank you so much, Maplewood, for your simple tyranny that I will defeat so easily with the truth and my pocket constitution. Well,
oh, look at the sweet little old man.